Hi, everyone. Hope you're having yourselves a wonderful Sunday. Hello, hi, how are you? Welcome. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi. Hello, hi. My name is Shadow Temple. If you haven't been here before, welcome to the stream. This is the butt of the sheep meow. I don't know why he's just hanging out there. It's because this camera's like turned way too much this way. Something happened. My poor camera got all kinds of jostled. That's a lot better. That makes a lot more sense as to what I would expect out of like the camera setup here. But hello. Yeah, welcome to a nice little chill afternoon stream here, friends. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna continue to build this puzzle. I think we're gonna make actually some real progress today. Because I have nothing on the docket until like 3 o'clock, which means I have a full 2 hours to stream here, probably like 2 hours, 15 minutes. Have a little extra time today to spend some time with you. So I'm excited to do that, and I hope you guys are too. Can tell Ian, for what it's worth, I'm sure Chris is gonna stream today. If it's his birthday, he's probably gonna do some birthday streamings. You should definitely go say hello to him there yourself. But yeah, hi. Again, my name is Shadow Temple here on the internet. If you are familiar with me, you probably know me as the guy who plays Pierce over on the Aphmau channel. And what we've been doing with these streams for the past couple of weeks here is just spending some time answering your questions as we go ahead and build this puzzle. So if you have any thoughts or anything you want to know about, this is the time to check that out. Sorry, I'm moving around, like jostling around the camera here. Do I want that? Yeah, it's pretty good. I decided I wanted the microphone closer to my face, and unfortunately that gets into the camera shot, so I'm kind of playing with it as I go here. But yeah, again, hope everybody is doing well today. Let's see here. Do you remember the first words you said in Minor Demons? If you can, say it. I don't actually remember. I think it was something like, "We were delayed," or something like that, right? I think those are the first words Pierce said. I could be wrong. I don't remember quite well. Am I going to on? I assume you mean VidCon. Yes, I'll be at VidCon coming up here in a couple of weeks here, friends. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are too. Let's see here. Boyfriend got Meow for your birthday. Very cool. He got you the dolphin Meow. Perfect. Yeah. Especially if you're into marine biology. That's perfect. That is perfect. Do you know what time Chris is streaming? I just pay attention to his socials. I don't actually know if he's streaming today. It just seems like something, if it was my birthday, I would take some time to stream as well. So, yeah, no, it's, I think that's, you should definitely hit that up. If when Chris would be live, it would probably be over on his Twitch channel, for what it's worth, friends. I don't think he streams on YouTube all that often. He posts plenty of stuff from his Twitch channel on YouTube, but I don't know if he actually streams on YouTube, just to be clear. So you might have to go to his Twitch channel to do that. But yeah, in the Shadow, explain myself. I said in the mod chat I was going to stream this today, so I'm here. Hello, hi. What is his Twitch channel? I think it's twitch.tv/the Christopher Escalante, I think. It could be the Chris Escalante. Hold on. Give me one sec here. I know I can look this up. Twitch.tv/team/Aphcrew, because we have, if you didn't know, we have a Twitch team on Twitch. What? Excuse me. What did I spell wrong? That should have worked. I don't know. Twitch.tv/team/Aphcrew. Why didn't that work? The Team Aphcrew. Let's try that and see what happens. That's so weird. Did they get rid of Twitch teams on me and I just don't know it? What happened here? I'm a little confused. Let me jump to here. I don't know, man. Anyway, just Google it. Long story short, just Google Chris Escalante Twitch on Google, and you'll find it pretty quick, I imagine. I imagine you'll find that thing pretty fast. Should make a Minecraft server for fans. Wow, would you believe that we actually do have a Minecraft server for fans? It is, and in fact, it is just getting a reboot. In that we are going to start fresh on a new map, and we're gonna get that all going mid-June coming up here. It is, however, a Patreon exclusive. So for folks who are members of the Shadow Temple Patreon at $10 or higher, or a tier 2 or tier 3 sub on Twitch, you can join along and play some Minecraft with us there. So yeah, I just noticed my webcam. The reason why it keeps rotating is because the wire's too tight. Hold on. Give me 1 sec here, friends. I know I'm wasting a lot of time before we even get started here. But something a little funky is going on with this camera, and I want to make sure it's working okay. There we go. Now it's not nearly as taut. But now it's too low. This is what I get for using silly little mobile tripods for these. There we go. That should be about right. Now we're sitting pretty. Also, happy Pride, by the way, for those who celebrate. We you know, getting on in there at the start of June. Bald Aphmau's canon. We're gonna work on her hair today, okay? It's the Christopher Escalante. That's the one. There we go. That's what was going on. Slow down there, Hop. This is the kitty show. Why is that last letter not working? Stop it. Stop, phone. But it is Pride. No, I mean that part I'm perfectly happy with. Let's see here. Summer's coming up fast. It's so true. You know, June 21st, official first day of summer, but here, you know, June 1st. I don't know about you guys, but for me, school let out always around like the second week of June. It was like around like June 12th or something like that typically we got out. So for like growing up, that was like always the main time to look out for, was like, oh, we're so close to you know, mid-June. But yeah, happy Pride and Dinosaur Day. What I am curious. What is this Dinosaur Day? I would love to know. Your birthday is June 11th. Very cool. Very cool. So close to Zeldathon. It is true. It is true. You're sick? I'm sorry to hear that. Can I do the Minor Demon's voice? Yes. There you go. Like I said, I think I'm gonna try to work on Aphmau's hair today. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I've lost Ian's like pants piece, because I feel like it should really pop for me that there's this like gray piece kicking around somewhere that should fit right here, but I don't see it. Like either I'm completely blind to this one piece, or it's like I lost it somewhere, which would be a real shame. Like, it'd be pretty sad at this point that we've lost a piece somewhere along the way, but I'm starting to feel like it might be a possibility, because I don't see it. I don't think it's under any of this stuff. Could be wrong. Yeah, we had Zeldathon, true. National Dino Day, which means you look up a ton of dinosaurs and learn interesting facts about them. Very cool. Very fun. It's a problem with a puzzle like this, you know, is we got 1,000 pieces, and if you lose one somewhere along the way, it's a little bit tough. I might have to scrounge around on my floor later, because this puzzle hasn't left this room, so there's a chance that it's somewhere on the floor and I just need to find it. But that's fine. We'll work on it. Who's my favorite character that's been on the Aphmau channel, including my street people? Pierce. Pierce is my favorite, I would say. How's the music, by the way? Is it a little loud? It feels a little loud on my end, but I could be wrong. Let me know if it's I mean, obviously now it's quiet, but let me know if it's a good mix there or not. You got the Aphmau email Pierce keychain. Heck yeah. Beautiful. I don't even have that. I need to get that at some point. Favorite quote from the Aphids that's not from Minor Demons? I don't know. I've said so many things in those videos over the years that I don't think I could give you any singular quote. There's a bit that still hangs out in my head from time to time, where I think we were playing Life, the game of life, like the board game of life, and I had just got promoted from my job at McDoodles, and I was like, "Ha! You fools! I will take you all." Or like, I'm leaving behind the shackles of the service industry, and I'm going to become a true white collar worker. Just you see. And then I go in, I'm wearing a suit, and I go into an office, and I'm like, McDoodles customer support. How can I help you? And I like that part was like whole cloth just out of my brain, and I was so excited about completely ruining my argument in a moment, right? Like a crab in a bucket trying to climb on the backs of the other crabs and making it into a higher and slightly smaller bucket. It's just, I don't know why that one tickles me so much, but I really, really did enjoy that bit. What was my favorite episode of Minor Demons? I think the first one, honestly, it had a lot of high action. It really set things up. It was pretty, the animations were cool. Yeah, I think it's probably one of my favorites, to be perfectly honest. Music's good, good balance? Okay, good. Not too loud and not too quiet. Perfect. That is exactly what I want to hear. Thank you. Oh, this is actually a very important piece. At first, I thought this was like a strange purple bud, but actually, it's her hair. It is the junction at which her hair changes direction. It's actually pretty high up. She's got a lot of hair here, so I'm gonna put it right up here, something like that. But yeah, again, hope everybody's having themselves a good day. I have had a nice, relaxing morning. Went on a nice walk to a coffee shop with my wife this morning. We got some nice quiche. And now we're just hanging out until we go see a musical later today. We are going to see, we have tickets to see the MJ musical, which is a biopic of Michael Jackson's life, which I think is going to be fun, but I think is also going to be pretty rough, to be perfectly honest. I think there are going to be some pretty tough bits in there about his life, because I imagine he didn't have an easy one. What with the Jackson 5 and all that jazz. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm looking forward to it. Usually these biopic musicals are good. It's just, man, it's not going to be a very easy one. I have a piece that is sky and then has a black line on the end, and it almost looks like it transitions to like a gray, but that can't be right. We're done with Erin's hair entirely. There's nothing else to be done. It must be Aphmau's hair, because there's a bit on her head where it's like almost perfectly straight on top, and that might be the case. Hi, Lindsay. Cute cat plush? Well, thank you. Yeah, this is the little Pierce me meow plush, as you guys know. Look at that little guy. Head empty, no thoughts. Look at this fella. You can tell there's nothing going on in that there brain, just like me. I killed Aphmau? Yeah, you know, it happens. Is that what came out? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what videos come out when, because we record them out of order from when you guys get them. Or not, we don't. It's not like we record it and then 2 hours later it goes out into the world. So I don't know what videos are out when. 'Twas me. Spoilers. If there's a season 2 Minor Demons, do you think Ava would be mad at the Demos boys or Ash for keeping the ending for Magic secret? I don't know. I don't know if she'd be necessarily mad. I think she has higher concerns right now, like being currently stuck in the world of Deimos and trying not to die. I think that would be first and foremost on her agenda before getting upset with us. You know what I mean? I think this is the beginning of her hair swoop right here. It is! Look at that. Beautiful. By the way, this music, in case you're wondering, is from the video game Chicory, A Colorful Tale. Very beautiful game with a wonderful, gorgeous soundtrack by one Lena Raine, who you might know as the composer for music for things like Celeste. There's another game he played recently that had Lena Raine's soundtrack, but I'm trying to remember what it was. But more famously for this crew, she's the writer of Pig Step. Pig Step was Lena Raine's music. So there you go. And a couple other songs, I believe, on the Minecraft soundtrack. Have you ever heard of the Novella Band? No, I've not heard of that. Sorry. Love doing puzzles and you're chilling today. Yeah, Sundays are perfect for puzzles because you have to get working back on the day or on the week next week, and you don't like Saturday was kind of your rough and tumble wild day. You can run around, have a good time, and then sleep into Sunday, and then Sunday you just kind of chill out and vibe and gather your energy so you can get ready for the new week, right? I like that idea a lot. Favorite line for the Aphmau Minecraft video? I'm gonna say, I don't know from the most recent video, but again, we did a 7 Friends video, and I said, I made it so Pierce no longer believes in taxes. So I've not in that he thinks taxes are wrong for the world. They're a necessary thing in order to operate the society we live in, but that he doesn't believe taxes exist, like they're a myth. It's just a lie concocted by the adults to scare you and make you think that they're working hard for something. Gonna be with Jess at VidCon? Yeah, I should be. I haven't gotten my plane tickets yet, but as far as I can be completely aware, I am indeed going to VidCon. In that I received an email that was like, hey, do you want to go to VidCon? And I was like, yes. That's the most I know, but that is hopefully the most I need to know. Beyond that, I'm going. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be there. Pretty darn certain. Does this go here? It might. Let's find out. Come back. We tend to kind of get some of this stuff done at the last possible second. So I'm not sweating it yet, but I would like to get my tickets soon. This doesn't fit here, but it should. Should be like right below her hand, best as I can tell. It could also be on the other side of her. You know what? I think that's what it is. It actually belongs over here, and it does. Look at that. I got part of her like side bangs there, like Legend of Zelda Link from like Link Between Worlds sideburns here. Side bangs? Not burns. Bangs? Is that what it is? I don't know hair, clearly. Let's see here. Metal Rock? Yeah. Hope we don't make the mistake like last year. What, in killing Aaron? It wasn't a mistake. I'd do it again. Let's see here. You do paleontology or marine biology? One of the two? I mean, either one. The greatest gamer crew ever. That's some high praise. I appreciate that. I feel like I need to be better at gaming to accept it, but I'm not so. I'm vain enough. I'll take it. Favorite subject? Are you talking about school? Are you talking about the world? You know, people talk about like, what's the subject that you could sit down and have a 2-hour discussion about? It's roller coasters. Roller coasters for me would be the thing that I could bluster my way through an entire unending conversation. I could fill 2 hours about roller coasters. I think that would be the thing I could do the most. You asked who voices X, and you didn't know it was X. Minor demons. They threatened to kill Ava. You'd probably have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure somebody did look it up, and I think it was Austin Lee Matthews. I could be wrong. Can you say yes really deep? Yes. Blah, played house, Casey. Yeah, no, blow them all up. That's how it go. Is there a way for a person who's never done voice acting to do voice acting or to try it out? I mean, yeah. You on your computer, right? Or if you have a phone or a computer or what have you, you could just download a voice recorder and then just record yourself saying stuff, you know? Take your favorite book and read it out loud. Grab a script from a show that you like. There's usually transcripts of various shows and things, and just do your best to give a good read of that, like you were performing it, like you were acting it out. See how it goes. If you don't like that feeling, you might want to work on getting into voice acting, or you might want to consider why you want to get into voice acting, I guess I would say. But just record yourself and then listen back and see if that's something that you liked doing, if that makes sense, right? And if you're like, well, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do it like for other people and then have people listen to it and all that. The first step is you got to be able to listen to yourself. If you can't listen to yourself, you probably can't voice act. Yeah. Like I said, get a book out and just read it out loud. See if you like how that sounds. Campus Parasocial, Reaper DJ guys following. Cool. What's my favorite character in Aphmau? Pierce. Pierce is my favorite. Favorite video in Aphmau. The latest one that Pierce is in. I keep telling myself I'm gonna go look up. I'm gonna go through the videos and see if I can find my favorite one. But I can't. I don't have one on the top of my head. Ghost Dragons, I don't know anything about a season 2 of Minor Demons, but hey, I agree with you. It feels like she's putting out a lot of videos, and this is purely speculative on my part. I have no advanced knowledge of this, so I'm speculating just on the same level that you are. But it does feel like she's putting a lot of stuff out there for Minor Demons. Just saying. If a new season's coming out, I haven't been told, so I do not know anything beyond that. The reason you want to get the acting is because the Aphmau crew? Sure. No, I mean, you're more than welcome to be inspired by us, yeah, to go and try it out yourself. As just a means to get hanging out with the Aphmau crew, I would recommend trying, I would try playing around with it, but it's not going to get you on the Aphmau crew, if that makes sense. But that's fine. That's fine. I talked about it on the last stream. If you like the stuff we do and you wish you could like hang out with us and do stuff with us, my recommendation to you is working on your own project or working on a project with a crew of people that are just starting off. Because by the time you would build up the skills needed to like do the stuff we do, and I'm not saying that we're extremely talented or anything like that, but by the time that hits, you're probably going to be more interested in doing something else. You know what I mean? It's just how life works, and that's fine. And in that time, though, you can develop those skills and then use them to do something else out in the world that you might be interested in. And hey, if you want to then hang out with us old geezers by then, you're more than welcome to. But in the meantime, you got to try something new, and you got to do something different, and you got to see how all this stuff works on your own and seeing whether or not this is a world you want to be in. That's my recommendation, anyone who wants to try this stuff out. So favorite video on Aphmau, Ghost Family? Ghost Family was pretty great. That was very fun. It's like one of the first shorts on the Aphmau channel, right? Like us playing around and like, don't go in the basement. Whatever you do, don't go in the basement. Have a good night. Don't go in the basement. I really did enjoy that a lot. We were just straight goofing the whole time on that one. You asleep yet? All right, don't go in the basement. Basement. We sometimes do that to each other still to this day, or just like in recording, we'll just go, basement. You cry if sheep killed by creeper blow up your farm? Yeah, probably. Here's what an interesting voice idea. You sparked it. Sure. Yeah, great. Get in there. Give it a try. I'm saying, in which case, that's certainly not selfish. You want to try voice acting? Go on over to try voice acting. It's fun. Gotta go steal your dad's monitor. Heck yeah. You love having fun? You know what? Same here. I also enjoy having fun. Hello, Rosa. How you doing? When the laugh you explode the video, the creeper walks in a bar and everyone dies. Oh, when you laugh, you explode. I was trying to. I thought you were saying like when I was laughing, and I was like, yeah, I like my laughs. Pierce had creeper girlfriends. Oh yeah, it was like Creepstina or something like that for a little bit. Just a reoccurring NPC character that would just come and blow me up. Classic. It was just a bit. There really wasn't anything fancy about it. It was just, what if Pierce had a reoccurring creeper that looked like a girl who would come in and just blow him up. They'd be like, "Hi, Creepstina." Pff, done. That was the whole bit. No thoughts, just explosions. That was like our 2021 to 2022 era, where we were just like, the more and bigger explosions we could have in an episode, the better the episode will do. It is not nearly like that compared to when it was, but it was pretty funny back then. By the way, friends, as we're getting kicked off here, these streams here that I've been doing on YouTube are sponsored, more or less, by there's a new platform that I'm working on with right now called Streamily, which, if you're not aware of it, there's a link pinned at the top of the stream here. If you are interested in potentially picking up an autograph from yours truly on a nice poster of either Minor Demons Pierce for all you older fans, and SMP Pierce for those of you who don't like the role plays, or not that interested in Minor Demons, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, you could go check them out, and you can either get just a printed an autograph print as just good old-fashioned autograph, or I can have it signed directly on this live stream and personalize it just for you, and you get a little video at the end. All in there for like an extra $5 buckaroos. Be sure to check out more information at the Streamly link at the top of the page. Also, if this is your first time on the channel, please hit that subscribe button and hit that heart in the chat there. That helps me a lot. Wait, no, the like button. The like button is what I'm looking for. No, I'm a fool. I am Bobo the Fool. Like the video. I don't know how YouTube chat works. The heart does nothing but emotes. But the likes, the like button is the one that will help people find this stream, because that'll tell them that this is a good stream and worth watching, and then we can have more people hanging out and having a good time. Why do you give your sheep weird names? I like variety. I'm some kind of strange little guy who cannot do things the same way every time, especially when it comes to capital C content. When it comes to doing YouTube videos and streams and things, I do not like repeating myself, except when I answer the same 5 questions here. No, I really like doing things novel and different each time if I can help it, which is tough when you do everyday videos. And so I think it's really funny when, especially to the fact that like Pierce is extremely attached to his sheep, but the implication is that his sheep die constantly. So every time you see a sheep hanging out with Pierce, it is not a sheep that has survived more than 30 minutes. It is a new sheep that he has attached himself to and is given the sheep a name. But because there are so many sheep that he gets or dies or kills and then has to get a new sheep, he is running out of very traditional Western names and is starting to kind of collect a more like diverse set of names over time. That's why I name the sheep different each time. And it's always just off the cuff. That the to sort of subquote somebody who no longer deserves subquoting, but that's fine. The sheep does not receive a name until it is observed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that sheep name is until we need to address that sheep. And then when we address that sheep does indeed gain a name. But not until that second. It's someone's for the Aphmau crew's birthday today. I was hearing that it is indeed Christopher Escalante's birthday. Is that correct? That's what people are telling me. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure he's probably going to stream today. You guys should absolutely check out his stream later today, presumably. And again, he's probably streaming on Twitch, so make sure you give him a happy birthday. Aphmau's sock piece is right next to the puzzle box where the coin is. It is? You think it's one of these? I don't know. Might be this one. Nope. I think it's this one over here. There it is. Found it. Done. So the trick is, friends, I like, in terms of me telling Chris, you have to understand, Chris lives, like, 1,500 miles away from me or something like that. So you guys have just as good a chance to telling him happy birthday on your behalf as I do in that sense. We are way away from each other, so we don't like live in the same city or the same house or the same neighborhood or anything like that. Just to be clear, it's also a Sunday. We don't really, the cast doesn't really talk to each other on the weekends all that much. Not because we don't want to, but because it's, you know, the weekend and we have other things to do. Let's see here. What happened to Mac? She's hanging out. Even though she's not in video, like her character's not necessarily in videos, or herself, there's kind of a divide there. She's still helping out with the channel, guys. I wouldn't worry about it too much. And I believe she's going to VidCon as well, so you'll see her there. And she's also on the Roblox channel, I believe. Friends, did you know? Did you know about the Roblox channel? We got a Roblox channel? Aphmau Shuki? Or Aphmau Roblox? I can't remember if we've renamed it or not. It's been a minute since I've been on it myself. But yeah, you should check out the Roblox channel if you haven't. I play Mario Kart 8 on Nintendo Switch. I have in the past, yeah. We actually have videos on this YouTube channel right here. This very channel that we are streaming on this moment has videos of me playing Minecraft with the rest of the Aphmau, or not mine. Well, it does also has Minecraft, but it has YouTube Mario Kart stuff there too. So yeah, be sure to check it out. Just saying. Where do you go, fine gentlemen? Trying to find all these little blips and pieces here, friends. Working through it. I think this might fit here. Yep. Okay, so that's the edge of her hair at the bottom there, right next to her back. Is Aaron going to VidCon? He should be. Yep. He sometimes hides away from the crowds, but he'll be there. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Remember when Aphmau died over 2,540 times on our SMP server? Yeah. Can I do Minor Demon's voice? Yes. One of my favorite TV shows. I know I'm like a million years behind on it, but my wife and I are currently watching Ted Lasso. Again, we are a little behind on television. We don't tend to watch like a lot of TV. We're honestly more of a YouTube couple. But we do watch some TV from time to time. And yeah, we're watching through Ted Lasso. I'm trying to catch up with King of the Hill because I guess there's a new season of that coming out. And then I've been watching Dropout, the improv comedy channel that is very good. A little green with my Pierce character would look good. I mean, that's why me and Peebs have our opposing yes and no shirts, right? Do I know Stranger Things? Yeah, no, I've seen Stranger Things. New season out eventually, right? Along with, well, we got Squid Games coming up on there. Waiting on for Severance. That was pretty fun recently. Yeah, Ted Lasso's been really fun. I'm a sports fan, but I'm not necessarily like a soccer, football fan. So I was a little leery of getting into Ted Lasso at first. But I will say, you know, you don't have to be a fan of sports at all to enjoy Ted Lasso. That was, I was proven wrong entirely about that show. That you do not have to enjoy sports even a little bit to really enjoy like the overall kind of web that it builds and delivers. It's very comfy. I like it. Bet you this fits right here. The hand is just about complete over there, so that's pretty good. Squid Game, Stranger Things, and Wednesday. I've not watched Wednesday, but I have watched Squid Games and Stranger Things. Favorite song, Rhapsody in Blue. It's probably not a song you expect, but it's very good, and I sometimes just listen. I just sit down and listen to it, and you do have to sit down and listen to it because it's 16 minutes long. What do I think of the Minecraft movie? I thought it was a very fun movie. I don't think it was very good, but I had a great time with it, and I would absolutely watch it again. Does that make sense? Like, the characters were pretty uninteresting. The story was here or there, kind of a mixed bag of, did this need to happen? But boy howdy, were there some good bits in it. And I am a fan of bits. I'm a bits boy, truly, heart and soul. And as a bits boy, I did enjoy the bits. Dork. Fine. What did they show? Well, they got rid of Ash Ketchum. They did a time skip. I have not watched the Pokemon anime in a hot minute, so I don't actually know. It's a shadow. It's me. If Pierce was an anime character, who he would be? I unfortunately do not have a stock of anime characters well enough. If the latest one that I could think of, to a certain extent, that would kind of work for him, would be like Rock Lee from Naruto. I know that is an aged reference at this point, I suppose, but I think it still fits about right. Just high energy, not very smart, but doing his best out there. Why did I choose my name as Pierce? I did not actually choose my name as Pierce. Pierce is a character that is owned by Catface. And I was chosen via audition to voice him. So that's the whole thing. And that's just how voice acting works, is you don't create the characters. The characters are made. You come in there and you give them life, you know? Somebody else writes the material as in Minor Demons there, and then I just came in and did the voice for it, and then slowly formulated the other Pierce over years of Let's Play stuff. That's just how it be. Has the same himbo energy of Pierce. I could see Luffy. Sure, I get you. Name on Roblox, you're not gonna get it. Sorry. Jack Black is funny in movies. I do like Jack Black as well. If you live in any time period before 2000, what would it be? 1999. It's the sort of thing where, like, I've talked about this at length on my Twitch channel. This notion of, like, traveling to other timelines or, like, traveling to the past and stuff. The world kind of sucked a lot of the time relative to our current day. And that isn't to say that our current day is by any stretch of the imagination perfect. Not even close. But there have been some rough times out there for society. Certain times that, if you look like me, it probably is okay. But for a lot of people who don't look like me in the past, real heckin' bad times, guys. So I would say like I'd rather be as painful as sometimes now is. I'd rather be here than another time at all. It is our job to make our, there is no the glory days. There is the here and now, and it's up to us to make it the glory days of today. Don't hearken back to an old time when you yourself can make it the thing you want now. Still working on her hair. What do you like about being Pierce in the Aphmau videos? I've enjoyed being a relatively smart boy. I've been a teacher. I've been an engineer. I've done robotics. I've done all these different things over the years where I had to at least appear intelligent. Some of my favorite bits about Pierce is that I can just be dumb, I don't get to shut off my brain. It's actually pretty hard to be dumb in a way that's funny all the time. But it is fun to kind of figure out smart ways to not be smart. Does that make sense? And I enjoy that quite a bit as best as I can. So I think that's probably my favorite part of working as Pierce is that I get to be that silly little fella who's just not all that smart, and that's okay. It's okay for him to not be too smart. 90s is better times? Is it though? Was it though? I mean, we had some good stuff going on to a certain extent, but it wasn't a good time if you were, for example, gay. Like the world changes as we go along, and I think the world progresses in a very, very slow way, but it does progress. And we should enjoy and keep holding on to making sure that we keep making the world better for everyone. Yeah, speaking of, happy Pride. Thank you, Aura, for the 5 buckaroos over at my Streamlabs. Hold on, I'll go look that up. Yeah, you knew it. It's fine. You can do that. I'm not going to stop you from giving me money. Do you know what days Jess will be on at VidCon? She'll be in the area from like pretty much all week. We're all leaving on like Sunday or something like that. She might be staying even longer in town for all I know. But we're going to be there for the entirety of VidCon. That said, if you are going to VidCon, make sure that you go online and you reserve your meet and greet times. That is the only guaranteed way to meet Aphmau, assuming she's going to be there the whole time. And I think she will be. If you do not sign up for those meet and greet times, there is no guarantee you're going to meet Aphmau at VidCon. Now is your warning. Go on the website and go sign up. Because we will be doing meet and greets throughout the weekend at the Aphmau booth. But she can't. And the main reason that she can't is because it would destroy security. We already get like a 2-hour line for the various games and competitions happening at the booth. And if she was there, it would be swarmed. So she cannot be at the booth. Usually until like the last day, maybe. But yeah. Ships on me? You can ship, whatever. If sheeps are banned in Minecraft, what would Pierce do? Quit Minecraft. Yeah. When it appears to make me laugh in every single video. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you enjoyed. I know my phone's in the shot. Oh, but I was going to actually check anyway. Hold on. I got to streamlabs.com. I got to go over there. Since somebody decided to pay me money. Well. Sorry, I'm confused. Chat box? No, I don't I want to log into my Streamlabs on my phone. How hard is that? Sign up. Log in. There we go. That's weird. Log into Twitch. I'll get there. Copy that. Hold on, friends. Can't show you my passwords or nothing. All right, I'm finally in. What did you have to say, R. Morgan? OBS jump scare. You can read this from the. I can read this from the Jigsaw table. So there. Love your SMP admin. Well, thank you very much for the $5. You think I'm not paying attention? Excuse me. Excuse me. Who's the guy in Af's old videos that doesn't sound like Aaron? I don't know. If anything, I don't know anything about the Aphmau channel that happened before 2019. If it happened before 2019, I was not part of it, and therefore I did not watch it because I haven't watched anything that Pierce isn't in because I'm vain like that. When I'm going to visit Iceland at the beginning of July, I'm going to Iceland. I was actually just playing around trying to figure out what to do in Reykjavik. I know it's a tourist trap, probably, but we were considering about doing. There's a geothermal like spa space called Blue Lagoon that we're thinking about trying out and seeing how it is because we've got a lot of hours in Reykjavik before we head to our stuff. Music's too loud. I could turn it down if you need. Hold on. When Pierce sings the "Where Does Mutton Come From" is very fun. Can I sing? I can, but I will not for the purposes of the stream. There's just it's not. I promise. It's while I'm perfectly fine at singing. It's not going to do anything that's going to actually entertain you, if that makes sense. That's why. Like, I'm not afraid to go and, do some... I'm not afraid to, go out and do some karaoke out there in the world. But, my entertainment value is not in my singing ability. Does that make sense? That said, at some point, I am going to look up the lyrics that I made for Where's Mutton From? And fix that up for you guys. Because I would do. Because at least that has, comedic potential in there. But I would need to get a transcript and I would need to write it myself because I was the one who wrote the lyrics to "Where Is Mutton From." So that's what I got to do. When was I hired? 2019 is when I was hired. I again auditioned for the role of Pierce. I also auditioned for Noi, but I didn't get Noi because, well, my voice, can be high pitched. It's not that level of good boy high pitch that Noi is good for and is best for. So, yeah, was not me, ultimately. And that's fine. I have no qualms with not being Noi. That was best for people who had better voices for the role, like Michael. I'm happy with where I landed. Need a job, you're going broke? Jobs are good. I will say, in general, do recommend. Job, yes. Even more importantly than job, money. Money's nice. I like money. Speaking of money, have you guys heard of Streamly? Yeah, that being said, self-interested segue aside, there is a link at the very top of the stream there. It helps support the stream and all the things that I do and all that. If you want to go pick yourself up a signed autograph print of either Minor Demons Pierce or SMP Pierce or anything that stuff like there. I'm just a walking ad for Streamly. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to be doing live signings of the prints that you guys buy and then send them off to you on June 30th. June 30th is when I'm going to be doing my signing for that. So I hope you guys check it out because it'll be a lot of fun. You wish you had money, but college has it all? Yeah, but hopefully, at least in that sense, it's a sort of... in theory, an investment into having money later, right? They have money from you now, but then you get job, and then you can have money after that will be good and better than if you didn't have college. That's the agreement we've come to in society, at least, right? That if you go to college, you get good job. It happens a lot of the time. Not all the time, unfortunately, but a lot, most of the time. What if you want an autograph from the narrator from Booty Creek Cheek Freak? I've actually considered getting a print of that, but he's just... As fun as that would be, I think I would need like an artist rendition of the old man from Booty Creek Cheek Freak, because if I just took a screenshot of the character, of the model, it's not very good. You know what I mean? It's just not very good. Would I react to Minor Demons with Rise VA? Yeah, absolutely. We actually talked about doing it, and I think it was supposed to happen this weekend, but I think communication just fell through on that. So, but I think we'll do it in the future. Sure, yeah. The spirit has decided that Noi must die. Right, I think that's how it went. I'm gonna take care of my sheep. They take care of themselves. I know you said it only to be a troll aura, but I'm still gonna do it. I'm still gonna pay Holly to draw a hyper-realistic photo of that old man with a stick talking about a guy who cuts people's butts off. And then when it sells one copy, I'll thank you for buying it out of pity. James's PC was broken? Uh-oh. Yeah, that's fair. Armand is going to school and, your folks steal money. Ugh. But yeah, no, a lot of people been there. Do I like sushi? Yeah. I like sushi. Sure. I had some sushi Friday night. We ordered in because we had a late recording session. But yeah, big fan. Big fan. In fact, would love even actually like to eat more sushi than I typically do. I just kind of forget it exists. Does that sound weird? Like sometimes you're just like, you're so caught up in like the average everyday what you eat and like what you get that you kind of forget that like out there things like sushi exist. I play Mario Kart 8. I do. I used to. I haven't played it in a while. Mainly because, it's older. They stopped releasing new content for it. And there's a new Minecraft, or a new, I keep saying Minecraft, a new Mario Kart coming out here sooner rather than later. Pretty soon, in fact, right? Like a couple, like this week, I think. I don't have a Switch 2, so I can't play it yet, but at some point, yeah. What was the one thing you like to drink if you had the chance to drink? Tea. I'm a hot tea guy. Jasmine green, if I can have it, please. Will there be a season 2 of Minor Demons? Maybe. We should go to VidCon. Yeah, I hope you get there someday. If Ian's goal in Minecraft was real in real life, he'd be rich. Yeah, I'd agree. Play on a Wii U? I do not play Mario Kart 8 on a Wii U. I mostly played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Wii. No, on the Switch. Good Lord. No. Just the good old-fashioned Switch. Does this fit here by chance? It does not. Not even close. How about this one? Do you fit? Kind of. I think so. Yeah, that actually feels pretty good. I like that. Pretty sure that's the top of her head there. Pretty certain. My question, she's got a lot of hair, but does she have so much hair that it like... Yeah, it doesn't notch there, does it? It could notch like this, though. That's possible. Let me try it in a second here. Got a Wii U in your bedroom? I have a Wii U in here. And in fact, I need to get it kicking because I'm going to be playing Spirit Tracks on it in about 2 weeks. When's the next VidCon? June 19th, like 18 days from now, over in Anaheim. When are you going to get a giant sheep? I would love one. I would love nothing more. Huh. I just noticed I don't know where Marissa's knitted sheep went to. I'll have to look for it. Marissa made me a very nice knitted Minecraft sheep, but I don't know where it went. I thought it was in here, but I guess not. I love the swish. How much are VidCon reservation tickets? You might have enough money. I don't know. You might have to look up online. You will have to look it up online, but I think it's like maybe like $60 a day or something like that. Sounds about right. And for what it's worth, of course, we don't set the prices of the stuff for VidCon. That's all on VidCon's end. Talk to Hank Green. I think they're still technically the owners of VidCon. I could be wrong. I say yes, high pitch. I don't get asked that very often. Yes. Oh, I don't talk about ships when it comes to characters I don't talk about ships of characters when I know the actors personally behind those characters. I just find it to be a little uncomfortable because it means that I am like essentially speculating romantic connections between two people who may have no interest in each other, romantically or otherwise. And I got to work with those people. If that makes sense. So I don't touch those. You're more than welcome to go and ship things and have your fun. I ain't gonna yucky yum, but I try to stay away from those conversations. I'm a professional. Nintendo Switch, do you play Minecraft? I do not play Minecraft on the Nintendo Switch. No, I play it on PC exclusively. What is one thing I love about myself as a person? Wow. I think I'm a good listener. I think I'm quick on my feet and I'm a pretty good listener about things. I think that might be my favorite two things about myself. Or at least, things that I strive for, perhaps. If I had the power to be invisible, what would I do? Get to the front of the line on roller coasters. I think that'd be the use I'd use the most of. Because it's one of those things that's like just that is it breaking rules? Yes. Is it breaking laws? No. You know what I mean? Like, and it's that level of like pettiness that I could handle without feeling like I'm really ruining the world with my powers. And that is the level that I'd wish to operate at in life. Where does this one go then? It can't be this deep in. I mean, maybe. No, that doesn't fit. Do you guys get into VidCon for free as voice actors, the Aphmau channel? Actually, even better, we get paid to go to VidCon. That being said, it's not like, oh, you got, you crazies, you get paid to just go hang out and have fun at VidCon. VidCon is work, We go there. We are expected to, we get makeup done every morning so that we look our best Minecraft selves. We have assigned times to be at the booth to, like, work and greet people and autograph things and just be generally adorable like we always are. And and just be there, be present, represent the brand, represent the channel. So yeah, no, we go there, but we work for it, Yes, makeup, absolutely. Totally. That's just how it be. I'm not wearing makeup now, just to be clear, My skin is just naturally this radiant. But at VidCon, when you guys are seeing us real close up, we absolutely do wear makeup and get our hair done and stuff like that. Yeah, every morning I would get up around like 6 a.m. And we'd have like a dedicated 2-person team who'd go through the whole cast and gussy him up for the day. Probably the most amount of gussying that I've had in my life, other than at like my wedding. How much do I get paid? Enough to make it worth going all the way to California. Not that I wouldn't want to go to VidCon in general if I didn't get paid, but it's nice because, on the other side of it, we are taking a week away from what we'd otherwise be doing as work. And I'm a freelancer. If I'm not working, I don't get paid. There are no paid days off when you're living in the gig economy. You know what? I changed my mind. I do want to go back to the 90s. Nah, I love my life. I enjoy what I'm able to do when I'm able to do it for as long as I'm able to do it. That feels like it fits really well. Is that right? Yeah, I think it is. It just connects so nice. It just didn't feel like it fit well. There's a lot of wiggle in that. I don't know. I think I just got lucky, maybe. We'll set that off to the side for now. Well, the problem is, I will say, Aura, for even more so than video games, having my time and attention split between the conversation and puzzle building it does actually mess with me. Puzzles, to a certain extent, even if it's passive, take considerable concentration that I am presently lacking in. Am I excited for VidCon? I am. I'm married, yeah, right there. You can see that ring right there. Her name's Marissa. She's upstairs playing Final Fantasy XIV with her raid party. We've been married for we got married October 1st, 2022, and now it's 2025. So we're coming up on 3 years, almost 3 years that we've been married. Pretty cool, huh? What's my star sign? Aries visiting Grandma. At least your stage makeup doesn't make you look old from far away and beat up from close up. If it did, it would be not useful makeup, would it? Do you like filming with Jessica? I do. My favorite word in general? Myriad. Myriad. Meaning like so many as to be countless. Myriad is a fun word. I like that word a lot. It just feels good. It feels special. It feels like it feels bigger than a human can be. Does that make sense? I think that's why I like it. It feels special. Where in the heck is this piece of hair? Is it over here? It might be over here. You know what? I think it is. Whoop-bam! And yeah, friends, if this is your first time hanging out here, first off, welcome. Hi, my name is Shadow Temple. I'm the guy who plays Pierce for the Aphmau channel. We're building a puzzle, as you can see here. It is the official Aphmau puzzle, available on aphmau.com. And if you're liking this stream, be sure to hit that subscribe button if this is your first time on the channel, period. And hit that like button for the so that people know this is a good stream to watch. That's really what it does, friends. If you don't know what the like button does, it tells YouTube that people are enjoying what they're watching, and it means that YouTube would be like, oh, then other people should watch this too in addition to you, and then we get more people, and then everyone's happy. So yeah, please hit that like button if you don't mind. I do like filming with Aphmau. Yep. I got the Minecraft creeper. It's true. You can see right there. That's actually a refrigerator back there, for what it's worth. Do you have to pay to watch the live for Streamly? You do not have to pay to watch the live stream for Streamly. In fact, even better, if you buy yourself a Streamly autographed thing, you get a shout out in front of 100 other people watching stuff. Ain't that fun? Yeah, it's not a little private thing. It is in front of the world, you get to have your shout out done and have everyone see it get signed and personalized, and me thanking you personally for helping me out by ordering it and stuff like that. So yeah, if anything, it's pretty neat, isn't it? Are you supposed to make a vid with Aphmau? We only record during the week. Thank God. I say that because we didn't always do that. There was a time where we recorded pretty much every day. And while that's fun for a couple of months, it is not, sustainable. Eventually you want to, go on vacations or have time with cherished family and loved ones or mow the lawn. And so we've built up a system now where we can record just during the week. And then by the time we get to the weekend, if everyone's done their jobs correctly, we don't have to then stay up super late or, spend a whole extra chunk of weekend recording extra videos. It's nice. VidCon is not in Florida. No, it's in California. Exact opposite side of the United States. It is in California. It is in Anaheim, California, specifically, which, if you're not aware, is the same place as Disneyland. In fact, you can walk from the convention center to Disneyland really easily. It's like 3 blocks. It is so close. You can see some of the rides, I think, from the front of the convention center. That's how dang close it is to Disneyland. So I always tell people, if you're making plans to go to VidCon, make it a 1-2 punch with your family. If you're gonna make a one-time trek out there, also go to Disneyland. It's right there. You're already paying all the money for flights, for a hotel, for living, existing out there. Why not just spend a little extra, get some Disneyland passes, and then go hang out there. Hopefully during the week and not during the weekend, because it's more of a local park. Was my favorite movie series? Back to the Future was probably one of my favorites back in the day. That is still a movie series that I will sometimes go back and just sit down and watch because it's fun. It's very fun. I like it a lot. Let's see. Where do you belong? We've almost got Aphmau's hair completely done, and I'm very excited about that. But I've just got a couple nagging pieces here at the end. Big fan of my work? Well, thank you, Con. Can you transform into a bird and fly? There's these. You can work on that if you want. If you want to work on figuring out how to transform into a bird and then fly across country, you're more than welcome to do that. They do have this thing, though, that you can actually join a bunch of other people, pay some money, and then you all get in a giant bird who has agreed to take you from one place to another place. And that way you don't have to transform into that bird. You can just go inside the bird, and then the bird will carry you there, and then you can leave the bird and then be in a new place. They call them airplanes. They have very specific places that they leave from and then go to. But usually you can look online, and they have schedules of when those airplanes are going to move from place to place. So, do recommend. Minor Demons still continues even after 5 years. Do you think Ava will get powers? Maybe. Did she have horns when she landed in there? I can't remember if somebody gave them to her or not, but she did have horns when she landed, so who knows? Maybe she does have powers when she gets there. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Okay, we are getting awfully close to finishing this hair, guys. I'm getting excited about this. Question is, where are the finishing touches? I think this probably fits right here, and it does. Rise gave her horns. That was the last bit of his magic, right? To make sure that she survived Deimos well enough. I'm trying to remember. New subscriber acquired. Thank you. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. It means a lot to me, friends. And yeah, if this is your first time watching, just know that there's a lot. If you're an Aphmau fan, there are a lot of videos on here that you probably would like. There are videos of me playing video games alongside members of the Aphmau team. There are unboxings I've done of Meows, and just a lot of Minecraft in general, too. I used to do a build series with Mac and Cheese for a long time, where we had 30 minutes to build something in creative Minecraft, and then we would compare each other. It was called Noob versus Pro. I was the noob, she was the pro. It was fun. Wore out on it, though, which is why we haven't done it in a while, but it was fun. Who's my closest friend in the SMP? Probably Keston. Keston and I, we've hung out and done a lot of stuff outside of recordings because we're both lovers of roller coasters, and so we have gone to several different places. Not several, I think one. We've gone to Cedar Point a couple of times together. That's what I'm actually going to say, and we've had a fun time doing that. So, yeah. We're roller coaster aficionados, and we also love escape rooms. So we every time we get together, we usually do an escape room. We'll probably do one when we're in we're at VidCon as well. We always try to sneak one in. Ever watched Avatar: Last Airbender? I think I've seen this series like 3 or 4 times. I've very much enjoyed that. I even watched the live action one, which, while not as great, had some things to offer that I did enjoy, and had just a pitch perfect Sokka. Can I say, just nailed that Sokka. As somebody who's an aficionado and a fellow fan and performer of himbos, I think they really nailed Sokka. The voice is good. The character, the body language is good. The mouth agape at times, staring into the void. Excellent. Beautiful. Perfect. No notes. And, you know, I wasn't sure about Zuko and Iroh at first, but they're growing on me too. I actually really like the take on Iroh. And Zuko's been pretty great too. All in all, I'm looking forward to that coming back. I'm not always a fan of live action ideas, and if you are going to do something with the live action, I want to see you. I want to see if you have a creative choice to make in making something different. But then I also will judge why you made that choice. And I think largely I like the choices they made in the Avatar live action. I have opinions about the changes made in some other live actions, like the new Lilo and Stitch, for example. I haven't seen it, but I've tried to look up some non-biased, that is to say non-hateful, reviews and plot synopses of the new movie. But if you don't know, they have changed some aspects about how everything goes down in that one. I think my least favorite, though, is if you're going to make a live action version of something, please don't make a change just because it would be too expensive to have that in the live action thing. If that's the reason why you've made a change, maybe it was a bad idea to make the thing live action instead of animated. Have you considered that perhaps it was better animated for that particular purpose? Favorite SMP character? Thank you. What's my favorite ice cream? Chocolate. Chocolate with chocolate chunks in it. Hey, remember to wish your friend happy birthday? Not yet, but I probably will after this. Are you and me, Chris, really close like in the videos? We used to hang out a decent bit back in the day, but he lives pretty far away from here these days, so I actually don't hang out with him much anymore. But yeah. No, we're friends. You liked Avatar: Last Airbender live action one. Korra the Last isn't your favorite. It lacks a lot in the last few seasons. I think a part of it, unfortunately, this happens with a lot of like animated shows that are living like hand to mouth from the animation like publisher or studio, where they're like not sure how much more they're gonna get in terms of like seasons and episodes. I think that has really done a number on a lot of shows for that reason. Owl House also had that problem, you know what I mean? There are just several different issues that come up with that. And so I feel for Korra, because I'm pretty certain like season 3 was like, we're on an episode-to-episode basis, guys. We're barely getting enough funding to make this thing. And that sucks, you know? It's not fun that writers and things have to work under the impression that they're not sure if they're ever going to get another episode or season to work with it. You know what I mean? Owl House, again, was especially tough for that. Because they're like, to the point where they're making jokes. They're like, I think... was it Edna or what was her name? The owl lady herself in the Owl House was like, "Oh man, Luz, can't you just like be a kid and just like enjoy being a kid?" And she's like, "Maybe if we had time for, 20 more adventures or something, sure, but we ain't got time for that." And it's like, "Oh yeah, because they literally were not given the budget for that time." Oops. Moose Tracks, sure, I like that. Song is lined called Roll by Vape. I definitely did not pronounce any of that correctly, Rosa. I'm sorry. I do not know that, but I have listened to quite a bit of Daddy Frere, because we watched a couple years of Eurovision, and Daddy was there as representing Iceland for several years, I think. At least 2, right? We actually got to see him perform here in Milwaukee, which was very fun. He actually recorded a song for his social media on top of the venue, and you could see like various buildings in Milwaukee. And I'm like, oh, it's where we live. Ida, thank you. I was like, I was swirling, circling the drain on that name. Why is the penny there? Because I wanted to show you how small these puzzle pieces were relative to the penny. Look at that. This is the penny right here. Here is a penny. I get that nice close. Here is a puzzle piece of this puzzle. It's small. You watched Eurovision? When? It's been a couple years. I didn't watch this year or last year, but the last one I watched was Daddy Frere doing 10 years. I think was the last time, and I think Maneskin won that year. Checked under the box? No, I've checked under the box for the pants, piece. I bet you it's somewhere on the ground, and my carpeting is like whitish gray, so I'm just going to have to kind of search on the ground at some point and get that going. If the setup in the background, I have more to set up. I have a bunch of artwork waiting to be framed on my pool, or I have a pool table over there just off camera that I will get framed and put in the background at some point, including some fan art that people have made for me. But yeah, I'd like to at some point. I just never got around to it. Use the phone flashlight. You're right, because it'll shine back, because all these pieces are glossy. That's not a bad idea. Spoken like somebody who's lost puzzle pieces on the floor before. Most sequels are cash grabs. Absolutely. If you don't make a second one, you're leaving money on the table. That's right. And that's just like this penny. You're leaving money right on the table. What a dumb joke. Do you know what Jess Aphmau's doing? Hopefully not working. Hopefully hanging out with her family and having a nice Sunday. That's my hope. I do not know. Where am I on the puzzle? I'm not in this. Pierce is not in this puzzle, but that's okay. That's all right. How old am I? I'm only going to tell you how old I am if you don't. If you do not tell me how old you are. Keep your information private on the internet, friends. I'm telling you that now. And in fact, if you say your name, you're gonna get you're gonna get your message erased in chat. All right, I'm saying that right now. You ready? I'm 33 years old. Don't do it. I told you not to share personal information on the internet. I know you've been trained since the moment you could talk that you should give your name and then how old you are to strangers because it's cute. And that's fine in public, but it's not fine on the internet. Don't. Uncle Shadow says as much. There you go. Cue at least 2 people saying how old they are. I thought I was 26. Man, I will say, you know, those who've been watching, I removed a beard yesterday, right? I had a beard on me in the last one of this, and it's gone now. And I swear it has dropped like 5 years off of me. Which is by design. I grow that beard because I want to look older most of the year. But for VidCon, I specifically try to look my best to look like Pierce. And so I shave up, I clean up, and try to make sure that that I rep the brand properly. I'm not told, by the way, to shave the beard. I just do it on my own accord. Maybe they're like, we actually liked you better with a beard. I'll be like, dang it. I don't know that for certain. You know what I mean? Maybe I should ask someday. Be like, do you want me to shave it off? But then I'll grow it up. I'll grow it back on immediately following it too. Zodiac twins. Oh man. Do I have sunglasses? Yes. It's important to shield yourself against the harmful rays of the sun, friends. Was not always that way, though, as a kid. I was always like, oh, I don't want to wear sunglasses. They're heavy. I don't like them. And then that's how you get cataracts. That's how you get cataracts, guys. You shouldn't have cataracts. Cataracts are bad. What is this little dot of color here? Because her hair is pretty much done. This is absolutely a sky piece. It could be like a flower. Yeah, it might be over here. Like right there. There we go. Well, look at that, friends. We pretty much have all of the characters done now. Now it's just a time for the bonus time, which is to say all of the pieces that are actually hard to do. Bit your tongue? Don't do that. You're my crush? Well, yeah, I have fun with that. Can you frame the puzzle hanging on the wall? Yeah, it'd be fun. I got to figure out how to do that. I know there are like kits that you can get to like glue and frame these properly, including a frame. Yeah, puzzle's coming along. Now we just got to fill in the harder bits of this whole thing. I think I might work on the kind of frame of the grass here. I think that'd be a good thing to kind of work, just kind of pulse my way through here. I see these tiniest little fringes of stuff that I'm like, I could find the spot for this. This might fit right here. Yeah, it does. Should. Get in there, you. And bridges the gap right there. Look at that. We're on our way. We are on our way. By the way, you might be wondering, Shadow, you have all the pieces for the edge up here. Why don't you finish it? I like kind of figuring out how this whole thing kind of wedges together, and I like the mobility of being able to kind of wiggle the puzzle. So I keep that frame open, and then I'll once I'm ready to completely fill that in, and I have strong structures along here, I know what I need to do for it, if that makes sense. Could tape it, sure, yeah. Are you talking to me, my dear? She's not. You have a sheep for Shadow. Oh my goodness. I like sheep. What's your favorite thing of a character? One thing I really try to translate in for Pierce that I think is important for like, just like being a person, but also being like a traditionally masculine person, which Pierce, you know, he represents like, you know, strong. He's got muscles. He's this sporty one who likes going out there and fighting and stuff. Something I really try to impart into Pierce is that he is joyous about a lot of things in life, and they don't necessarily have to be gender coded in order for those things to give him joy. Does that make sense? Like he allows himself to just enjoy things because they're enjoyable, not because he thinks he has to enjoy them because he's boy. That's something I really try to do with him, because I think that's important, you know? There's this idea in like, especially like child psychology, called modeling, which is a big fancy word for do stuff that you want, that in a way that you want kids to emulate, and not stuff that you don't want kids to emulate, because they're sponges that will collect every piece of information you give them. That's also why I think it's super important that when he goes out and pranks and does all that stuff too, that he always loses. That he ultimately, like, the pranks don't work out too good for old Pierce, and he will almost immediately and tragically lose in a big way. Do you think of not letting Pierce know where mutton comes from is just part of his character? That was me. Yeah. No, I built that very early on when it became apparent that sheep was going to be a part of Pierce's world. Weirdly enough, actually, separately, that's where mutton came from, the idea that I really like saying the word mutton. I love the fact that we pronounce, like, obviously the correct pronunciation would be mutton. But in a kind of casual American accent, you don't say mutton, you say mutton. Somehow, like a word that is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters long, barely ekes out 2 syllables at that point. You could even shove it into like 1 syllable if you really wanted. Yeah, look at that mutton. And so I liked that. I liked the sound of that word, and so I always grabbed it as the food that I ate. And it tracked that we could, that he likes sheep and also enjoys mutton. And I was like, well, here's a potential comedic strong piece, which is, what if he likes both things, but doesn't understand the hypocrisy of that in a really tragic and adorable way. Can I say mutton in Pierce's voice? Like, mutton? Yeah, he likes mutton. Who's going to tell Pierce where mutton comes from? It can never happen. It can't happen. It can't happen in a permanent way. That much is certain. It would be like a radical departure for the character. Almost like Pierce would have to die off the day that he finds out where mutton comes from. It cannot exist. It cannot be allowed to stand, friends. That would be a transition point for Pierce, the likes of which could not hold. Favorite drink I'm having? Again, I'm drinking some green tea right now. Some nice jasmine green tea. Love it. It's my favorite. Your sheep got out again. Why you like mutton? I was just explaining it. I like saying the word mutton. TLD, and sometimes, you mean Chris? I not as often as we used to, but I used to back in the day quite a bit. Yeah. Not even that much, honestly, but, enough to say that we hung out with each other, sure. Sometimes he'd have concerts in town, and Marissa and I would actually go see his concerts, which were pretty fun. He's a ska guy. You like matcha? I also like matcha. Can he act out what Pierce would do when Pierce finds out where he comes from? Yeah, it's called he'd hit the disconnect button on Minecraft. He would never return. What does my day look like as a voice actor? On a day that I'm like really working, typically it would involve, getting up usually around like 8, 9 a.m. I work from home, so it's not like I have anywhere to be. Get up, make breakfast for myself and Marissa, make myself a cup of tea, come down here to my recording booth, record a couple auditions for commercials, for audiobooks, for stuff like that. Join in on the Aphmau crew for recordings if I am scheduled for them. I find out usually like the night before whether or not I'm going to be recording that day. So if I've got a recording session, then I'm going to hang out with them for 2, 3, 4 hours for each video that we do. And then if I don't, then I'm usually working on things like audiobooks, where I'll sit down in here and I'll either sit here for several hours cranking out, reading out whatever book I've been paid to read out loud for money. Or taking the audio recorded previously and then cutting out all the bits where I make mistakes in the audiobook, which is a lot. Which, guys, is a lot. Oh, boy. Oh, dear. I make a lot of mistakes, guys. But the only person that hurts is me, because then I go through and I fix it all up. And then once I'm done around like 5 or 6 o'clock, I'll go upstairs. I'll go cook dinner for Marissa and myself. I cook the meals. I like cooking. And then come back down here for my nightly Twitch stream, which happens around 9:30 p.m. Eastern each night. And then stream till about 11 o'clock midnight, and then go upstairs, go to bed, and repeat the next day. Bit of a late night worker, admittedly. So I work probably like, on average, like 10 hours a day, if I can help it. Yeah. It's fun. I like it. How many times do you remember my lines? Nice part about voice acting. Frequently, you don't have to memorize your lines, because unlike an actual acting making it sound like we aren't acting. Unlike a traditional acting job, how about that? That's better. We don't have to appear like we're not reading from a script. So we can just stare at the words we're supposed to say and do that. That being said, it's always better to know the script before reading it or before performing it. So it's not like you have to. It's not like you could just go in and cold read everything. You should be somewhat prepared for what you're going to say, if you can help it. That's not always the case for every job, but that is preferable. In fact, if you were to not do any prep work, you'd have some clients who are kind of mad. Unless they change the script on you, which is frequent. Do I know Aphmau, Jess, and her kids? I've met her kids once or twice, yeah. I know her better than her kids, to say the least. When do I pet Bento? In between. Do you like the crew? Yeah. Do I know Jason? Yeah, I've met him several times. Hung out with him. Played mini golf with him back in December. Do I miss My Street? I wouldn't know. I've never watched it, and I've never performed in it. I promise that's not me, like, bragging. I've lacked the time or attention span to go back and watch things that I wasn't necessarily a part of. But I'll get into it at some point, I promise. Do I like Aphmau? Like, yeah, she's pretty cool. I admire her, like, tenacity of keeping all this stuff working, man. I don't have it in me. I don't got that dog in me, guys. To really succeed on YouTube, you got to have that dog in you, and I don't got that dog. I'm happy to do my silly little puzzle streams here and get my, couple dozen videos or a couple dozen views and things like that, and have a couple thousand views on my videos and things like that, and do my Twitch streams and do my audiobooks and all that. And I enjoy those immensely, but to like really succeed on YouTube, to have like an Aphmau sized channel, you have to really commit your soul to this art. And I am perfectly happy to be just a silly little guy in the midst of it all. I'm blessed to be a silly little guy in the midst of it all. Like, if she was like, "Do you want the keys to the Aphmau channel tomorrow?" I'd be like, "No." No, I do not. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'll just keep being your silly little guy that gets to show up, be in the video, work on it in the moment, and then let the army of people do everything else for me. Nope. Do I like puzzles? Yeah, I do like puzzles. I promise my speed at which I'm solving this puzzle is not because I don't like puzzles. It's because I'm trying to answer all your questions and give thoughtful answers to them, and like spend time with you guys and engage. But as a result, I have to pull my attention away from the puzzle whenever I am gathering new questions to then speak up about. But I try to kind of load the question in my brain and then focus on the puzzle for a little bit while I do it. You know what I mean? And we're getting it done. Ever met Noi in real life? Yeah. Probably like a dozen times at this point. Yeah. We've hung out quite a bit. How is Pierce Crush? At least in my brain, Pierce don't have much by way of crush. That's not my choice to make necessarily, and nor should it be. But in my brain, Pierce too dumb. He ain't got time for things like that. He too dumb. You have one really big question. Well, you should ask it. How long are we doing puzzle today? Another half hour, I'd say, and then we'll probably call it. Is this puzzle hard? It's got a lot of pieces. I mean, 1,000 pieces on this boy, and they're all pretty small. But unlike a lot of other, there are hard puzzles out there where there's not a lot of like distinct features. This puzzle's got some pretty strong edges and things. The only tough bit is really going to be some of the dirt here. And then the sky without the clouds are going to be real pain. But generally, yeah. No worries, Black Cat. Yeah, I'm happy to be here for you guys. And again, if you guys are enjoying this, please hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel already, be sure to hit that subscribe button too. Helps me out a lot. Tells people that I'm here and that this is a fun, neat little channel that they should check out. And we can have more fun together. More people, more fun, right? Can we be friends? No. I'm happy to be here and hang out with you and chat with all of you and have a good time. But in the traditional sense, I am not your friend. And that's not because I am trying to be mean here or I don't like you or anything like that. I know very little about you, and that's fine. The reason why I'm not your friend and why I'm saying that very specifically is that nobody on YouTube that you watch because you find them entertaining or because you see them as some sort of celebrity, they are not your friend either, okay? I really try to draw lines there because I think it is so important for you to have reasonable expectations for the people that you like watching, number one. And number two, and this is a really important piece about this more than anything, if someone, what a suspicious song for this speech. If someone who's popular on YouTube reaches out to you to be a friend of yours, they are either an imposter, because most people are, I'll tell you, popular YouTubers do not got time. They're busy doing lots of stuff that you do not know about. But number two, this is really important. Even if it is that person for realsies, there is what's known as a power imbalance between yourself and that person, where and those people will know it. That you like them a lot and you would do a lot for them. And there are a lot of people on the internet who will take advantage of that, friends. So to say that I'm not your friend is not because I don't like you as a person, because I want you to practice safe interneting out there to ensure that someone doesn't take an opportunity to take advantage of you. Does that make sense? Sorry to be like a little parenty on that, or a little teachery, but boy, do I see a lot of kids drop a lot of information about themselves that people then use to be unkind to you on the internet. Does that make sense? Don't want to be parasocial. Yeah, and that's a word that gets thrown around a lot, and I do agree with it. Yeah, parasociality can be a problem, but it also can be all right, right? If my time here spending time with you guys chatting and building this puzzle is something you enjoy and it makes your day better, there's nothing wrong with enjoying that, right? There's nothing wrong with enjoying the sound of my voice in your world and having that in your space and things like that. I just also want to make sure that we set proper boundaries and make sure that we are appreciating the space that we have here and the time that we have here in the way that is beneficial for both of us. Nice. Scared the bejesus out of me there. This is a particular sound that you can tip a certain amount of money to
Nice. Nice.
When this sound happens back in the day.
Nice. 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 Nice.
Is it gone? Are we good?
Nice.
Everything all right?
Nice.
That was $69.69 from Maura Morgan that I'm currently reloading onto my phone. Can this count as a bento summon? Yeah, we can summon bento for that. Shadow's friend, even though you threw money at him. There you not Shadow's friend. Yeah. Sorry, that was more sudden of a drop than I expected because back in the day when people made that sound on my stream, I would hide underneath my desk because it's scary. And Or Morgan was like, do the thing. And I was like, I'm going to go do it. But then as I was going down, a leg cramp. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just going down then. So that's what happened there. I'm fine, though. I did the thing, and thank you for the 6969 Or Morgan. That's very kind. Appreciate you. I'm perfectly fine. It's just like, I bent my leg more than 90 degrees, and I was like, no. And I was like, it would just be better if I was on the ground with my legs straightened out so I don't cramp out here. And I did feel better. Let's see here. Let me scroll back up. Parasocial. How do you get a voice acting? I did. So I actually started doing radio in college. The college that I went to was a little college that had a little radio station in the basement of my freshman dorm. Sorry, I forgot to drink water. That's why I'm getting cramps. There was a little radio station in the basement of my college dorm that I did some ad reads for back in the day. People had told me I had a nice voice, and I was like, sure, yeah, I'll try it out. I knew some friends in the radio station, and then they sent out an email all to the entire school of like, hey, does anybody want to do the radio commentary for the football team? And I was like, yeah, that sounds kind of fun. Sure, I'll give it a try. And so I did, and I enjoyed that a lot. And then I graduated college. I was working as an engineer. I was trying to figure out what to do with my evenings because I was in a new town. I didn't know anybody in town, and I was just spending my time at home alone after work. And I was like, oh, I'll start doing Twitch streams. I like Twitch. I've been involved with other things on Twitch here and there. Why don't I do stuff like that? And it just kind of kept building up from there. More people heard my voice as a result of my Twitch streams. More people said that was a cool thing to check out, and that I should try some voice acting. And so I did some fan projects here and there for free for various things. And then I was able to start doing more stuff after that. And it just kind of built up. It's been... I started acting like 11 years ago. Like 11 years ago, which is pretty wild. How long have I been working with Aphmau? Meanwhile, I've been working with Aphmau coming up on 6 years. I think it was June of 2019. So it's now June of 2025. So I guess, yeah, 6 years. My goodness. I will get bento here in just a moment. Why aren't it in the puzzle? I don't know. How's the puzzle going? Well, do you still remember the Cabbage Patch Kids? I do remember them. I never had one, though. No, I was more of a Power Rangers kid growing up. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday, but it's someone else's birthday. If Pierce played an instrument, what would it be? Thank you, Colton, for the $4.99, by the way. I appreciate that a lot. If Pierce played an instrument, it's got to be something obnoxious, and I think that would either be, Marissa would agree with this. Three things. It would either be percussion, which I think is the most likely, followed by trumpet, followed by alto saxophone. I think those would be Pierce's three big hits there. All right, let's do a little bento visit, shall we? Because somebody gave money for it, so I might as well. Bento! Bento, 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 come here! Bento, come! Bento, can he come here? Here he come. I see him going down the stairs. Oh, hi. Oh, you already knew what to do. Hi, Bento. Oh, you're so good. He's such a trained boy. Hi, how you doing? So here's my dog, by the way, friends. His name is Bento. He's a mini Australian Shepherd, and he is 6 years old. Oh, pretty much as old as my Pierce career. Bento and Pierce are the same age. Look at him, and he's being a good boy, hanging out with Mom upstairs. Yeah. Hi. He is a good lad. Aren't you, Bento? Bento, can you shake? Oh, that's a good boy. Can you shake? Yeah, it's a good boy. Can you high five? Yeah. Yep, lickies. I get it. I know, I'm a little sweaty. And Bento, can you spin? Can you spin? He's like, are you kidding me? I don't got spice on this lap. Oh, you're a good boy. I love you. I love you, baby. You're a good boy. You're a very good boy. Mm-hmm. Okay, my boy. Wow. Next time, can you ask Aphmau to join? She actually joined up on my streams sometimes here and there back in the day, but she's too busy of a lady these days. She's got 4 kids these days. She's got, 2 dogs, 4 kids, a husband, and a life beyond, hopefully, content creation at every second of the day. I hope she gets her opportunity to take breaks from every now and then. I feel busy a lot of the time, and I don't have 4 kids, so I think that would be very nice. What breed is Bento? A mini Australian Shepherd. He is a Blue Merle variety, specifically. Are Australian Shepherds good dogs? I mean, Bento's lovely. I love him so much. But they can be they can be a little bit of a pain. Aussies are typically very smart dogs. They are working dogs. They want a job. They want something to do. And so you need to give them some pretty proper attention in order for them to not go insane. They also are herders, not hurters, like they're hurting people, but they are herding dogs, which means that they have a tendency to want to make sure everybody is together in the same place. Some people have had Aussies that nip at people. Will like kind of nip at their heels and things like that to make sure that they keep together. And they also need a lot of exercise. They love running. Bento here is actually a pretty big couch potato, but he also does need a good run out every so often. So yeah, I would not recommend getting an Aussie if you live in an apartment or if you live in a space where you don't have a lot of space for the dog to run and stuff. But if you want to get exercise with your dog, that's then yeah, Aussie's pretty good for that. If that makes sense. I think this goes right here. It do. Look at that. A cockapoo, sure, yeah. Plenty of cockapoos out there. Hypoallergenic, right? Favorite Minor Demons episode? First one, I think. How long can I stay in Pierce's voice? Minor Demons, Pierce, not very long. I could spend maybe like an hour's worth of recording there before it would really start hurting. But I can do regular like SMP Pierce for quite a while. And that is by design. He is built to speak and to ramble and to just generally be a goofball. And so I have worked on making that voice something I can repeat and do for pretty good stretches of time. Not forever, mind you. It still is not my voice generally. Like, you know, I have to put on a voice to do it. This is my most perfected, safe voice that I'm talking in right now. It is projection-y, so you guys can hear it well enough, but it is otherwise not painful for me to do. Which is really important when it comes to, you know, doing streams, stuff like this. He convinced Jess to make a Minor Demon Season 2. The only people who convinced Jess to make a Minor Demon Season 2 is you guys. Yes, you, the viewers. You need to make sure, and I mean this genuinely, that if you want to see Minor Demons Season 2 to come out, you need to get all those Minor Demons episodes over 1 million views easily, if not higher. You need to, what else? You need to make sure that when a Minor Demons character shows up in an episode of like an SMP day on the channel, that you watch those as well, and you make sure that you watch those all the way through. Analytics, the numbers, the stats. That's what tells what does good and what does not. And you can be really hype about stuff in the comments, but genuinely, it's about who watches what. That's the biggest piece of all, friends. So be sure to watch it and tell other people to watch it. You do a phrase of Minor Demons Pierce for me?
Yes.
There you go. The craziest country I've ever been to. I haven't been to like crazy countries because that usually means instability, at least in my brain. But probably the most like offbeat country that I've been to that compared to my own livings is probably like Hong Kong was pretty wild. That was a pretty wild space. Just, it's such a bustling city. I live in the Midwest here in the United States, and, you know, we have cities. We have Chicago. But, like, Hong Kong is just on a whole nother level, man. That don't fit. That don't fit one bit. Get out of there. Do you watch dogs behaving very badly? Not if I can help it. They make me nervous. Favorite Aphmau character? Pierce. Do I speak any other languages besides English? I speak some Java, some Python, C, C++, a little bit of Arduino. And also, what else was it? Also, I used to speak Spanish. I don't have it as much as I used to. Do you like McDoodles? I haven't eaten McDonald's in a long time. I mentioned I live in the Midwest. If I'm gonna get like a burger, like a fast food burger, I'm going to Culver's. That's the Midwestern way. If you're getting some fast food in the Midwest, you're going to Culver's, man. You're going to Culver's. Why would you spend time at McDoodles? It's not even cheaper anymore. There was a time that McDoodles was cheaper than Culver's, but that time has passed. McDonald's is just as expensive. And at that point, it's like, why would I get an inferior product? Yes, I'm calling you out, McDonald's. Work on your pricing. Have you been to Chuck E. Cheese? Absolutely. What is Culver's? Culver's is a fast food chain based out of Wisconsin, which is where I live. Don't tell us where you live. That features burgers called butter burgers, where they take the burger and then they put butter on it. Not a ton, but just a little bit of butter. I've had some buck wild butter burgers, let me tell you out there, but that's beside the point. Yeah, they make butter burgers where they put the butter on the burger, and it's pretty tasty, and I do like them a lot. I'm confused because there aren't that many more pieces of this edge. I should be able to finish this. What brand of jacket am I wearing? This is a sweatshirt that I got in Aspen, Colorado. It's I'm a big fan of skiing, like downhill skiing, and I picked this up as a souvenir. I don't know the brand. It's not like a fashion statement. It is, I like skiing, and I went to this place to go skiing, and I like skiing. How many miles is from England to America? I think you could look it up more easily than I can. I'm building a puzzle. Do I watch NFL? Yes, I do. Since I live in Wisconsin, I'm duty bound to support the Green Bay Packers. And I have since I was a babe. What is it though? I don't know what you're asking about, Chatamiku. By the time you hear, oh, Chuck E. Cheese is better. Chuck E. Cheese is better at what? If our Legend of Zelda character, what species would I want to be? Probably a Zora. They seem like they're having a fun time out there. No, I changed my mind. I want to be one of the Rito, like the modern Rito. Those are pretty fun. Where's a spot that's missing texture on the dirt? I found a piece that is... Oh, here it is. It's the edge of the bomb. There we go. The Last of Us is... Do I like it? I played the first two Last of Us games. Enjoyed those immensely. Watched the first season of the Last of Us TV show. I've not watched the second season. I've heard... they've made some changes that I'm okay with. I haven't felt a strong urge to follow up on it yet. I've got other things to watch in the meantime, but I might go back to it at some point. I say that I enjoyed the second game. I enjoyed it from the perspective of a piece of art, but I don't think I ever want to play it again. If that makes sense. Last of Us Part 2 is a real heckin' bummer, man. It is a tough game to play. There are just some bits in there that's like... I don't subscribe to the idea that a video game has to be fun in order to be good. Far from it. I play a lot of games that aren't necessarily fun, but have something to say, and I really like how they're saying it. That's a game that's just like... Boy... What's my favorite thing about working with Aphmau? My favorite thing about working with Aphmau is how much I get to perform. I love performing. I love being, doing comedy stuff. And that really is like such an opportunity to be able to work in that space. And I mean that work. There aren't a lot of people who get to say that they get to work in comedy and and that's their day job. That's what they do. And in that sense, I'm well and truly blessed that I have that responsibility and ability where my whole gig is go out there and be funny and like make people laugh. That's my job? Are you sure? It's great. I've played Split Fiction? I have, yeah. My wife and I have played it together. The VODs of which will eventually make their way to my... I have a second YouTube channel, friends, and it's got old streams that I've done in the past. And that Split Fiction will eventually make it over there. We also played It Takes Two, the previous game before Split Fiction. That is pretty fun as well. You like my sheep form from yesterday? Heck yeah. Was my favorite musical? I actually like both of those as well, Birdie. In fact, Hades Town is also my favorite musical. 6 was very fun, and I liked it a lot, and I think it's the future of musicals. But I really love like a mega musical, and Hades Town really fits that bill. So much so, in fact, Marissa and I went down to Chicago. She bought it as my Christmas present this past year. And we took the train from here in Wisconsin down to Chicago to go see the touring production of Hades Town literally 2 weekends ago. And I loved it, and it was extremely good. What's my go-to favorite dinner? Tacos. Did you watch My Street? No. Do you play Minecraft besides with Aphmau? I played some last night with fans, actually. It was very fun. And you can join that too if you subscribe to the Patreon at $10 or more. You too can be a part of the action. If you want. You don't gotta. But if you want it, and you got money. I don't mean that in the sense of like, I don't want you if you don't have money, but more like, don't spend money you don't have on things like that. Because I want more importantly than you playing Minecraft with me is you being financially solvent. And I do not play Fortnite. No, sorry. And not because I don't like Fortnite. I've just never played it. Joy Genshin, Z Honkai Star. I know of the games. I've not played them. I have very little patience for gacha games. I'd rather just spend money on a game and then play it and then be done with it. I am in a fortunate spot where I have the money to do so. So I totally get people who prefer free-to-play games. Who have the patience for that. But I do not. I lack it. I'd rather just purchase the video game. I've played Mirror's Edge. Yes, long time ago, but I have. You're saying is do the opposite of what you're saying. Probably. What? I don't understand anymore. Do you like Roblox? I think it's interesting. I don't. Roblox has some shady business practices that I don't generally enjoy. But I think from the perspective of a creative space unhampered by copyright, based on what I see a lot of the time, I think it's cool, and I understand why people like it. But I don't play a ton of it myself, and certainly not for anything less than content. You have an online hug? Should play Persona 4. Yeah, all right. You have a YouTube channel that's not good? That's fine. I have a YouTube channel, it's just kind of okay. You watch a Minecraft movie? I have. Favorite piece of merch from Aphmau? I do love a lot of the memeos. A lot of the memeos are very good. Obviously, I love my sheep pierce memeo. Look at this guy. Look at that. Look at that goofy little face. You gotta love that face. It's pretty good. Did Jess upload the next movie video yet? I don't know. I have no control or power over the channel whatsoever, especially when it comes to the uploading of videos. That is strictly outside of my world. I actually, I don't have any keys to the channel at all for what it's worth, friends. That is just the purview of Jess and Jason, I do believe. I think maybe one or two other people have access, but they're like big head honchos in charge of making sure the channel doesn't die. My job is to be a goofy little lad and make funny haha jokes so that you guys will enjoy and keep watching. And I like my job and how little I have to worry about that part of the job. If I wanted to do all those pieces, I would just do it on my own channel. But I don't want to. So I do it here instead. Or I do it there instead. Where in the heck does this thing fit? Does this fit over here? It almost feels like it should, but don't. But it don't. I'm glad, though. I did do what I set out to do today, though, which was get the fringe of the grass on the block done, which you can see right there, and get Aphmau's hair done. The rest of this will be pain. There are no hard edges on the remainder of these pieces. And so it will now be a stretch to the end to try and see what sort of things I can assemble here. So it'll be fun. How much out of 10 do I enjoy acting on the Aphmau channel, General and Minor Demons? A classic 9 out of 10. I think it is some of the most fun I've ever had on the internet. Sometimes sometimes I'm doing it when I'm not super heckin' pumped, but show must go on is how the showbiz goes, right? And that's not Aphmau, to be specific. That is in general, voice acting and things like that, kind of like any job, right? Sometimes you gotta do the job when you don't want to do it, or when maybe your voice is hurting or something like that. But you gotta get out there. You gotta do the show. But with the exception of those rare instances, I really, really do enjoy it. No real complaints. But like, yeah, it's one of those things where you don't get days off from it. With the exception of cruises, because I think it is too hard to do much recording on a cruise. Some people do, but I don't. I have like a specific box that I carry with me on vacation. And that box contains a microphone and all the equipment I need to record 4 Aphmau videos. And it doesn't matter where I'm going. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. If Pierce is in a video, I needs be ready to record. I've recorded from like a hotel in Disney World and things like that, where it's like there you be. So it is when you're putting videos out almost every day, you either have to have them all recorded well in advance, or you have to be ready to record at any time, and that is the bargain, if you will. But the rewards are great, and it is super heckin' fun. I say things like that not because I'm like complaining about stuff, just to be clear. It's because I want people, because put a 1 in chat right now if you want to be a YouTuber. If your dream job is to go out there and do YouTube, or like be part of the Aphmau channel, or do something to that effect, right? Yeah, we've got some people who do like that idea. My intent here is not to complain or to make some particular channel or some group or anything like that feel bad about it. It is because I want to set realistic expectations for the things that you do. And I hope that comes across, that it doesn't feel like I'm trying to be condescending or telling you can't do it, kid. You don't follow your dreams. You'll just end up in ruin. I just say those things so that people know that it is a job, and it is real work. So it may not feel like it in the moment to moment sometimes, I'll tell you that much. But it is actual like labor that you do need to accomplish, and you're not always going to want to do it, even though you will have to do it. That it is not like some secret escape hatch from working for doing something for a living, if that makes sense. Give up on your dreams of becoming a baker. You gotta give up on your dreams. Thank you, Brian David Gilbert. Looking for a real job, but you do YouTube as a hobby? And that is 1,000% what I tell people to do whenever they're like, oh man, I want to become a YouTuber, I want to stream, I want to do this stuff. What advice do you have for me? And I'm like, the number one thing is don't try to depend on YouTube for your money. Dear God, the best way to ruin anything that you love to do in the world is to turn it into something that you and your family depends on in order to eat. Because the second that happens, a bad video or something that you put out there that doesn't succeed, or maybe you had to rush out, no longer is just like, dip, well, that's a shame, we'll give it another try next time, guys. It's, oh no, maybe we don't need to eat hot dogs this week, maybe we'll just eat ramen this week. And like that's a stress and strain you don't want to put on that if you can help it, right? That doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Maybe it's time to move out of this too expensive apartment kind of energy. You know what I mean? That's not fun. You shouldn't have to put out that on your art stuff if you can help it. Some people are able to, and that's great. And like, we all strive to kind of achieve that if we can, but like, make sure you also give that opportunity to just have fun with it, right? Get a day job that can pay for all the passions you do on the side. I'm not going to call Aphmau, sorry. Have I voiced anyone in my street? No, I have not. Friends, by the way, we have about 5 minutes here, and then I got to go take off because I'm going to go get dressed. I'm going to go to a musical with my parents and go get some nice dinner with them, and it's going to be a lovely little time. But it does mean that I do need to head out of here. So last chance before I go, by the way, once again, hey, if you would like to get some sort of autographed piece of some kind of from me, you can do so by going and checking out the Streamly link at the top of the page, where we will have you can get different autographed things of like Minor Demons Pierce if you're a bigger fan of Minor Demons than SMP. There's a picture of SMP Pierce, really cute. Both bits of artwork done by the fantastic Hilarity on social media. What musical? It's going to be MJ the musical, musical about the life and times of one Michael Jackson. I have a feeling I'm about to be in for a bit of a rough ride because I don't think he had the easiest of life, especially in the early days. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to it. He's obviously got good music, and the king of pop, for many a year. Like All of Us Are Dead, the TV. I do not know that show. How deep can I go with my voice?
About this deep.
And yeah, again, we will, since I didn't finish the puzzle today, friends, quite obviously, we will do more of these streams in the future. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you are alerted when I build puzzles again, and we'll have more chats. We'll talk about stuff again, and we'll chat about these things. Do people like these? Are you guys having a good time? Like, are you happy that I'm doing these and talking to you guys and doing all these Q&As and stuff? I hope this is fun for you. I enjoy it, and it's fun to just kind of do some chats out here. I also do this because I feel bad about doing Twitch streams during the day unannounced on my Twitch page because they have stream streaks now, and I don't want to ruin that for people. For the after, please check it out. Nope, but good luck. If you tag me on social media, I'll probably look at it. Waiting for the puzzle to magically slide off the table. Thankfully, this is a rather large table. It's not going to slip off anywhere, thankfully. But yeah, thank you again, friends. I think that's probably where we'll leave it off because I need to go get dressed and all that. But thank you so much. If you finish the puzzle, am I doing anything else live or not? I will. We'll come up with other things to do. Don't you worry. Plenty of other stuff to do out there in the world. But that is where we will leave it here for now. So thank you. Favorite Minecraft block? Quartz. That's not true. Wool. Blue light. Blue wool. All right. I'm gonna head out here, friends. Thank you again so much, and be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. All right. Bye, guys.